Let's
Get the truth first. Who are you?
get some cardio in
Get really
and
accountable.
some motivation.
It's okay. Who am I? What's the
Hopefully,
truth
everyone is
about me?
having a good
Get to that dark place in your
day,
mind.
evening,
Figure out.
good week, good
It may
month,
take months. It may
all
take
the good
years.
things in
Figure
between.
out your purpose. Figure out what you want to be in life.
You have to move like everything is working out in your favor. If you have a single doubt, it will crumble you. If you have any negative self-talk towards your dream, then it is going to destroy you. There's a quote that I really love. Nothing can destroy iron like its own rust.
When something ends, it ends because it was supposed to end, okay? There's something better coming. And so when you feel ready, change your story from heartache and heartbreak and insecurity and drama to the lesson that you learned. Because remember, if it's not love, it's a lesson.
Pain and suffering are actually sacred. They're actually a blessing in disguise because they take you out of your normal day-to-day routines and they show you what life is really like. Life is harsh. It's difficult. There's death. There's waiting. But you're living in this kind of floating world where you're completely, outside of that. You think everything's just fine. But when you're suffering, you're directly confronting the reality of life.
Our ability to withstand trials, our ability to be able to go through difficult things. So there's a level of resilience and accountability and discipline. So to me, toughness is not how little you get knocked down. Toughness is, do I get back up? Do I try it? Do I pivot? Or do I give up? You almost have to be insane a little bit to have such blind faith in something that you can't see.
The most important question to ask yourself is what pain are you willing to endure in your life rather than what pleasure do you want? So whatever pursuit it is that you're going through, whatever challenges are placed in front of you, realize
Appreciate
there is
it.
value in stepping outside of that
Hopefully
comfort.
everyone's
But
a
on
good
the
day.
other side of discomfort is something
Getting
valuable.
some
We're
cardio.
told that worthwhile things are
It's
difficult to attain
sunny day on my
because if they
side.
weren't difficult to attain, they
Even
wouldn't
though
be
it's winter,
worthwhile.
but it's sunny today.
If you want it, you gotta go get it. It's not about today. It's about the future. You do the
Let's
work now.
go.
Do the work now.
Let's go.
And all of the shit that you can
Appreciate
ever
the
wanna do
support.
for your family, your kids,
Truly
your
do.
loved ones, it's all going to be on
Getting
a
in
whole
this
other
cardio.
stratosphere. Really getting short. Go harder.
Really getting ripped. It's been
You
9
need
days.
to become the ideal
9 days.
version of who you think you were meant to become.
What's good,
Where it is this
everybody?
effortless and joyful
Thank you.
human experience of continually growing into a better version
Faisal.
of yourself as
Hope
a
you're
way
doing
of
very well.
life.
Thank you for popping in. Hopefully having a good one.
Purpose. No one can create your purpose for you. No one can tell you who to be. So in purpose, you have to create your own purpose. And in evolution, you have to evolve towards that purpose. It's easier to live when you have goals to meet.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly.
You need to make a change somewhere. Know that this is your opportunity to separate
Let's
yourself out from the
go.
pack. Every
Let's
other person
go.
feels the exact same way. They also
Cardio.
feel the hunger. They also feel
Your
the
heart
fatigue.
will thank
They
you.
also feel the lack of motivation. And
Also, your kids will
every
thank
other person
you.
you're competing with also
Who's gonna
feels
live longer?
If you're someone who's always doing things other people aren't willing to do, you always max out, you always go to the next level, you convince yourself you deserve to win. You can take low self-esteem, low identity, low confidence, and change it over time by building this habitual addiction to doing one more, this obsession of one more.
way to discover what you were put on earth for is to go back into your past, list the times you felt most fulfilled, and then see if you can draw a line through them. What have you truly loved thus far? What has ever uplifted your soul? What has dominated and delighted it at the same time? Assemble these revered objects in a row before you, and perhaps they will reveal a law by their nature and their order, the fundamental law of your very self.
Let's
Fall
go.
in love with what you have
Let's
to do.
go.
The motivation is love. You're starting to
I'm actually
see
5 minutes
it
in.
before it happens.
Feeling
When
good.
you fall, don't
It's
beat
been a good
yourself
session.
up. Begin again.
Good
Over
session.
and over and
Some days
over
were
again.
harder than others, but this is gonna be a good day.
Law of attraction is something you
Sunny,
believe in or not believe in.
healthy.
When in reality,
Everything else
it's
is as
happening whether you
good as it can
recognize it
get.
or not. Because if you go back and
Let's
track
go.
your thoughts and you audit your thoughts honestly, you are living the existence that you believe you deserve to live right now. So when you learn to control that, just like we're talking about this, through learning, accepting as true, and then practicing the skill set, you get better and better and better and better.
So much value in what you unlearn. Sometimes the best thing you can do is unlearn some things. We're all always going after learning something new. Then we want to learn. But sometimes your biggest breakthrough is in what you unlearn. And then you relearn. You have to disrupt that soil in order to plant a new seed to grow a new fruit.
Worrying about what everybody else is doing. Stop looking at what everybody else is doing and stay focused on what it is that you feel God has called you to do. Specifically, that's your greatness. That's where your power is.
The most important thing in the world is what you believe about yourself. That's the most important
Let's
thing.
go.
Your entire experience
Let's go.
is fabricated out of what you
Let's go.
believe about yourself.
Failure has made me who I am today. Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up.
You think jealousy is hatred. That's not what it is all. Jealousy is desire. Jealousy is a clue.
I'm gonna hit a little bit more
It's a
chest
direction, a signal. It's a
later.
dot on the map of your life.
More chest, more side
And
raises
the
later,
desire is blocked by fear
and pull downs.
or comparison or insecurity or stress or whatever. Instead of aiming that jealousy out at the world or at myself, aim it into inspiration, aim it into motivation. Explore it, lean into it, give yourself permission to have that thing, and then get off your ass and go make it happen.
Just don't quit today. Tomorrow, take care of yourself. Whatever we got to do tomorrow, just don't quit today. Little step. Tiny step. Tomorrow, what are we going to do? Well, I don't know, but I'm not going to do that today. Just today. All right? Just make one good decision today.
When you go to sleep at night, think about your goals for the coming day. Make a list for each day of all the goals, the little goals you're going to accomplish that day. Keep a journal and write down your goals on a regular basis. When you're driving through the day, think about your goals. When you're talking to other people, think about your goals. You see, you do become what you think about most of the time. You do achieve what you think about most of the time. So all successful people think about their goals most of the time.
You will never feel ready to do things that scare you. You will never feel ready to jump off the cliff. You will never feel ready to take that leap. Your brain is designed to protect you, and change requires risk. And so you are protecting yourself by saying maybe tomorrow. If you want to change your life, you must make a decision to change your life.
It takes power. It takes effort. It takes discipline to break the old you, to break those habits, to break free
of the chains that have been holding you back. That's where it takes the most effort. And then once you climb up and you start to get altitude, you start to get elevation, gravity becomes weaker. Your old, weaker self doesn't have the same influence that it had. It's easy to want it. It's easy to think about it. It's easy to dream about it. It's easy to tell people you're going to do it. What's hard is getting up in the morning and doing it. What's hard is doing it when all your friends are telling you not to do it. What's hard is having everything in your life telling you that you should pull the plug on what you're doing right now and go get a normal job like everyone else. Go be like everyone else. Go live the life that everyone else wants you to live, but showing up anyway. That's what's hard. But that's what's actually going to get you where you want to go. Most people never succeed in life because they're waiting for conditions to be perfect. They're waiting for the sun to shine, the temperature to be right, all the stars to align. And I'm here to tell you guys that will never happen. Conditions will never be perfect. Things will never align. There will always be a reason for you to put off what should be done right now for a later time. That is a success and life truth.
A warrior is sent. A warrior has or feels the obligation. If something is out of balance out there, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna try. And if you try and you fail, you try harder next time. But you don't give up.
Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction? Good question. What are you going to do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference? Now, see, if you don't do something starting tomorrow that'll make a difference, guess what? It's going to be the same. And see, that way you can guess what the next 5 years are going to be like. Look at the last 5. Because the next 5 are going to be like the last 5, but less. You, Major Key, tomorrow, change it all. Or change a little, or change something, or don't change. It's choice time. You can do whatever you want.
But that hardest part of changing is breaking that gravitational force in the beginning. This stationary inertia of habit that's been controlling you for 7, 10, 15 years. Leave your weak old self behind and go get after it.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen nowhere under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what.
My view is like, you can't control the outcome all the time. Sometimes it should go the other people's way. It shouldn't always go your way. So you get motivated by the losses. You stay motivated through the way. What you can control is your process. You can control those intangibles. You can control the work ethic, the consistent discipline, your attitude, your culture, how much you care. All those things are in you. They just need to be drawn out of you. There are going to be days when you get up and you do exactly what you're supposed to do and you work as hard as you possibly can and nothing happens. And on that day, you're going to feel like you're wasting your effort. You're going to feel like you're wasting your time. On that day, you're going to wonder why you're even doing this. But on that day, you're going to promise yourself that you're going to do it again tomorrow. And when tomorrow arrives and the same thing happens, you're going to promise yourself that you're going to do it again the next day. If you keep doing that, one of those days, something's going to happen. So keep showing up. Keep doing the work and trust that one day it's going to lead to what you want. Because if you do the work, it will.
everything will change for you. If you will get better, everything will get better for you. If you'll change your philosophy, you'll change your habits, if you'll refine your thinking, if you'll change and accept some new disciplines, if you'll turn the corner where you've been in the past, go for a new life for the future, all kinds of remarkable things will happen for you if you will change.
Excuse me.
You have to have the truth to have a starting point. So when you, like, if I'm lying to you about who I am, or I'm lying to you about whatever, there's no starting point. There's a false reality. You have to create the real reality.
Well, it's ultimately the principle that, you want to be a little bit better in some way tomorrow than you are today, but it's not going to be in a linear path. Again, these go through cycles of stress and recovery. So it's just kind of being able to surf the flow of that and know, again, it really comes down to balance. So it's the practices that you need to know what to do for sure. And then you need to know how to apply those things in the right way.
For some reason, school and society have this sort of making you feel like there's only two ways in. You're either born into it or you wait your turn. But what I've learned is that there's always the third way. And it's the entrance where you have to jump out of line, run down the alley, bang on the door 100 times, crack open the window, go through the kitchen. There's always a way in. And it doesn't matter if that's how Gates sold his first piece of software or how Spielberg became the youngest director in Hollywood history. They all took the third door. But every time I failed, I always had an excuse. I always had a reason. I was just blaming everyone else for why I wasn't succeeding in life. But after my third major failure, that's when I really stopped and realized I'm the common denominator here. I am the one person that is consistent in all three of these massive failures. And unless I'm going to take that really serious to change the person that I am, then my outcome is never going to change.
Once you come face to face with who you are, you have a starting point. All right, I'm not real smart. I have no courage. I have no self-esteem. I have no nothing. Nothing. That's my starting point. Now we can move from there. But if I tell myself I'm strong, I have courage, I'm smart, and all these are lies, you continuously push that starting point backwards. So that starting point is the truth.
Fear is a belief that something negative is going to happen rather than something positive is going to happen. So it's like that's on the other side. You're always believing in your failure, right? Rather than believing in your success. So you have to go attack and collapse these different fears. A lot of the fear comes because we're afraid that we're going to judge ourselves harshly or whatever. So you got to realize there is no such thing as failure. There's just learning, right? So you collapse the penalty for failure. So that collapses the fear, which allows you to believe even more. So that's one way to do it. And the other way is to just look at fear itself and play out the different scenarios, know that you're going to be fine. Again, forgive yourself always. And really also just attack fear wherever you see it.
And the difference between fearlessness and courage is that fearlessness is jumping off of the cliff without thinking. Courage is acknowledging your fear, analyzing the consequences, and deciding you still care so much about it, you're going to keep one step forward with it.
That's why people gotta understand what is in us. We have no idea until we start trying hard. And I mean really trying hard when you're obsessed with, hey, this is my new norm. My new norm is that, wow, this isn't always fun. It's not always meant to be fun. And that's when you know you're trying hard.
And if you believe there's something that's irrational that should control you, that will apply universally. So wherever you find fear specifically, collapse fear wherever you see it. And that specific collapse will help with the universal collapse of fear, gentlemen.
The key of taking that first step, it's not about trying to logically argue with those voices in our head. You will never win against the voices in your head if you try to argue with them. What I've learned is that if you, instead of focusing on the voices and the fears, you focus on the desires.
Every day, I try to wake up and work on like what excites me, what makes me feel like I'm having impact or I'm sort of fulfilling my potential in some way. So if I'm thinking about a foundational belief, it's that everyone has something that they can offer the world. They're going to figure out what that thing is. And they've got to make a lot of very difficult decisions, usually saying no to things that puts them in the best position to fulfill whatever that potential is.
As human beings, we are meant to grow. And when you stop growing, your soul and your heart and your spirit dies. But as you move through life, it is unavoidable to face things that are challenging, face disappointment, face things that are just absolutely heartbreaking. The ability to have self-awareness and to have the ability to pause before your emotions take over and take you down a negative spiral.
You just got to understand, the only thing you're responsible for is your best. Like, you can't do better than your best. You just do your best. And if you try to obsess too much, you're not doing your best, you're going to be paralyzed, right? So you have to, greed or these other forces that delude you and prevent you from thinking clearly. But if you do your best and you fail, what are you going to do? Beat yourself up for that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. If you're doing your best, if you're really laying it out there, there's nothing more you can do.
When you say, how do I make this happen? You're undoing all your work because you're operating from a place of fear. Because you're asking, how do I, little me, make it happen? And if I don't make it happen, it means it's not going to happen, which means I'm in a fear vibration. Instead, ask yourself, this is all done. I've locked it in, chosen the thermostat, done the work, I'm the million vision fear, cultivated my network. I've got everything down. How can I now show up to participate in this process?
That's what we do. We go like, what's the meaning of life? As though someone's supposed to tell us. And he's saying, no, actually life is asking you that question. Existence asks you that question. And you answer it with your choices and decisions and the life. Because your life is the answer, right?
Well, when you are in the face of so much uncertainty, which we all are right now, what you have to do is you have to win the battle that you can win, which is the battle with your own mind.
We are two people. We have the easy voice, which is at 20% telling yourself that I'm easy at 90% of my full potential, maybe 100% at that 20%. That's that voice that we all love. Doesn't care how good you are, just loves you. Just loves you no matter how messed up you are in life. That's where you want to be at. So that's that one voice. This other voice that we walk very far away from is the voice saying, hey man, you ain't doing shit. So we try to get this voice out of our head completely. So what you have to do first is turn up this voice over here. The voice saying things to you that aren't nice. I'm not saying to put yourself down. I'm saying listen to the truth. And the truth isn't in the 20%. In this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, self-doubt, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light.
Young people will always look up and reach for the highest branch they see as possible. Whether it's up to parents, whether it's up to schools. And what I've learned is that when you change what someone believes is possible, you change what they
becomes possible.
There's a single definition of success. Look at yourself in the mirror in the evening and wonder if you disappoint the person you were at 18, right before people get corrupted by life. Let him or her be the only judge. Not your reputation, not your wealth, not your standing in the community, not the decoration on your lapel.
We bullshit each other. We bullshit ourselves. It's the hardest thing to do is not to bullshit ourselves. If we don't bullshit ourselves on some level, it's too painful to be alive. And that's what your art is. Your art is telling the truth in ways that you can't in life.
As long as I enjoy what I'm doing, I train hard, I have no regrets, and all I can do is give my best, then it's going to be fine, regardless of the outcome. It's important for me to actually hear criticism sometimes, because I think that's what makes me a better player.
This thing you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for anybody else. I think a lot of people they see you run and they say, oh, it looks so easy, it's effortless. But before it gets to that point, it's hard. It's like hard work. Day in, day out, sacrifice, day in, day out.
You had a limited time to stay on earth.
It really gets into behaving in a rational manner. It's not getting in your own way. As I say, everybody here has the ability, absolutely, to do anything I do and much beyond. And some of you will, and some of you won't. It will. The ones who won't, it will be because you get in your own way. It won't because the world doesn't allow you to. It will be because you don't allow yourself to.
The abdominal will, if you have a belief you can do something, the only way you grow that, like in the gym, you grow your muscle by actually exercising them. You grow the love of you and your wife by caring for them and having their back. To grow the individual will to become something, you must get comfortable with fear and failure. They must be your best friends. They're the only one that moves that needle of life.
Really liking what you do, whatever area that you get into, given that even if you're the best, there's always a chance of failure. So I think it's important that you really like whatever you're doing. If you don't like it, life is too short. If you like what you're doing, you think about it even when you're not working. I mean, it's something that your mind is drawn to. And if you don't like it, you just really can't make it work, I think.
If you run with people much faster than you, all right, yeah, you might come in last every single time, but your time will be better. Because they're making you run all the faster. They're making you dig down just a little bit more. It doesn't matter that you won. Your time is faster.
I'm the most artistic, I have the prettiest footwork, the prettiest face. There'll never be another fighter like me.
It seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, and I actually think that that's true for a lot of the best ideas. Where it is that it's not that someone else can't do it, they actually can. And the odds are stacked against you. But I think often that belief and the fact that you just care so much about what you're doing is the only thing that kind of drives you to do it.
Integrity, honor, character, discipline, sacrifice, due diligence, sweat equity, to see it through. The difference is not the genetic code, the potential, the reality of life, whatever that truth is, right? It's not as powerful as the perception of how you see it. No matter what happens, it's the reception of how you see it. How about
there's no rush. Build for the long term, guys. You don't need stuff right now. Do things that make you happy.
Go talk to 9-year-olds. They regret. They talk about regret. I wish I did. Literally, inevitably, I do this. I wish is the open line.
What happens if you walk through this lifetime, something unexpected comes? And then there it is. Something that we call choice. You have the choice. The suffering comes and you run away, or the suffering comes, the pain comes, and you face it. We are overcoming the suffering. We are not running away from the suffering. You are overcoming it. You go through it until you have become so strong. Your body becomes so strong. Your mind has become so strong that it doesn't matter afterwards anymore.
So you got to learn to stand up to yourself inside yourself. And short circuit, override that conversation that's always going on. 85% of what that conversation will tell you is negative. It's negative. It will tell you you're tired when you really are not tired. It will tell you you can't do it. It will fill you with fear. So you've got to watch that conversation. And when you find it going on, you've got to stand up to it and say, I'm going to do this anyhow. I'm afraid, but I'm afraid not to do it. And I'm not going to let you stop me.
I don't tell people that they're okay the way they are. No, I say, no, you could be way more than you are. And they're relieved about that, you see, because if you're in a dark and terrible place and someone says you're okay the way you are, then you don't know what to do about that. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm having a terrible time and I'm hopeless. You're okay the way you are. Well, then what? That's it. That's it. That's where I am. And you could be way better. You could be incomparably better across multiple dimensions. And in pursuing that better, that's where you find the meaning in your life. And that will give you the antidote to the suffering.
Don't worry. You're never ahead. You're never behind. You're exactly where you need to be. Don't let anything rush you because you're exactly where you need to be. And every minute that you're spending wishing you had someone else's life, you're wasting a minute of yours.
You learn things painfully. And when you learn something painfully, a part of you has to die. That's the pain. You know, when a dream is shattered, for example, a huge part of you that constituted that dream, maybe even the biological substrate of that dream, has to be stripped away and burned. And so life is a constant process of death and rebirth. And to participate in that fully is to allow yourself to be redeemed by it. And so the good is that process of death and rebirth. Voluntarily undertaken. It's like you're not as good as you could be, so you let that part of you die.
What happened for me is I realized as my life was circling the drain, this was not the situation that I wanted. I didn't want my life to end in divorce. I didn't want to be in financial ruin. I didn't want to be depressed. I didn't want to be anxious. And here's the truly screwed up thing. I knew what to do to fix it. See, this is the trap that most of us are in.
But progress towards a worthy goal, a worthy vision in your life, is the pathway to success. So why don't most people make it? Why don't most people, they go their whole life, they never really live, they react. Because they live in the physical world. They don't control their thoughts. I want you to remember this. Thoughts are the currency with which you purchase your dreams. Thoughts are the currency with which you purchase your dreams and your vision. If you can begin to change the way you think, literally, you can begin to change your life. But most people only operate in the physical world.
Discipline equals freedom in all aspects of your life. From a fitness perspective, you gotta have the discipline to get up early in the morning. You gotta have the discipline to work out, the discipline to eat the right foods. And if you have those kind of disciplines, they're not easy. But if you make the right choice over time, it's going to give you freedom.
Life is a journey. Never think that any frame of your life is independent from other frames. Because that's where we can really overwhelm us. So when you're in a certain situation, you suddenly feel that this is it. This is now a real setback. If you don't recognize that it's a journey and this moon will continue to travel, and the setback is not going to remain this way, then there's strength and confidence to move forward. But if you convince yourself that by moment, remember the emotional reaction of demoralization takes over, then besides the actual setback, the actual diminishment, you've now turned it into a liability.
But I will tell you this, it isn't one thing. And it isn't 10 things, it isn't 100 things. It isn't a quick path, and there are no shortcuts. Meditation won't get you there, and neither will a miracle drug or an organic supplement or some superfood. Getting better isn't a hack or a trick or a one change that you need to make. Getting better is a campaign. It's a campaign. It's a daily, a weekly, it's an hourly fight. It's waking up early and going to bed late and grinding out every second in between.
Your brain spends most of its time trying to make sure you don't notice because you'll go crazy if you notice everything. But when you decide what's most important to you, your brain goes after it. If you don't know exactly what you want or you let yourself get beyond that to something general, you're not going to achieve it. Clarity is power. The more clear you are about exactly what it is you want, the more your brain knows how to get there. The biggest challenge that you will have in life is you. There's an old African proverb that says is there's no enemy within. The enemy outside can do us no harm.
It's not the critic who counts. It's not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done it better. The credit belongs to the person who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred with blood and sweat and dust, who, at the best, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who, at worst, if he fails daring greatly. It is not about winning, it's not about losing, it's about showing up and being seen.
The reason why we go back to what happens is because our goals are too lofty. We're not achieving our goals fast enough. We're not proud of ourselves for the small accomplishments. What we need is we need this monstrosity of the thing to happen. Say, I did it. Nah. There's a process that you have to go through, and patience is the process.
Everyone goes through moments of doubt and despair. So you need something to protect your mindset against that loop because it will chip away at you. And the belief is very simple. You don't do things that don't serve you.
So what I want you to do is think about something you want for you, that's real for you, that's important for you, that will give your life some special meaning and power. And I don't even want you to say, I can do that. I don't want you to assume that. That when you say this, even when you face tremendous setbacks, it will be a benchmark to keep you in the game, to keep you moving forward and experimenting and readjusting your strategy and your plan of action, continuously looking for ways to win. That can keep us going, that will enable us to act on our dream. What's one of those keys that will begin to help us to discover the secrets to our dream? Say, it's possible.
And I'm going to make you guys one promise right here today. The game you're playing, please listen to this, so that you don't end up wasting years of your life like I did mine.
The game that you're playing is not success. The game that you're playing is not money. The game that you're playing is brain chemistry. It's about fulfillment. The only thing ultimately that's ever going to matter in your life is how you feel about yourself when you're by yourself.
Just say to yourself every day, it's possible.
If you're plagued by feelings of inferiority, you should rectify the most obvious inferiorities. Well, if you have some faults and you feel insecure and inferior because of that, well, you should. Now, it shouldn't be so much that you're crippled by it and unable to take action. You shouldn't be beating yourself into the ground because you're not everything you could be, because no one is. And if you beat yourself into the ground, then you can't get up and improve. We all have these feelings in our bodies, in our minds, in our souls. I act on mine. A lot of us who are afraid of something, we allow our minds to choose the path of least resistance, and we go a different route. I'm afraid of something that's telling me you must do that. You have to go that way. And most of us don't understand that mentality. We go left, and we wonder why we haven't fulfilled something in our lives. It's because we continue to take the journey that is mapped out. They pointed out an inadequacy is a pathway that you can travel down, right? A recognized inadequacy is as soon it's such a gift in some sense, if it's accurate. I'm in it because you think, well, what should I do? What should I do with my life? That's a real complicated question. Oh, here's an inadequacy. Excellent. You have a goal now.
You get to that next level is to understand that the person that you are has gotten you as far as it's ever going to get you. So you've got to become a new person. You literally have to adapt. Now the great news is that is what humans are wired to do.
Well, by the same token, you don't have to force yourself or motivate yourself to think negatively, to be depressed, to beat yourself up over the head, to feel loaded with guilt. You don't have to make any effort to do that. Your mind is on automatic. It will do that by itself. But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, if you want to begin to really enjoy a happy, successful, healthy life, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will.
Where I want to be, where do I see myself tomorrow, the next year from that? And it takes a lot of self-discipline.
Have a vision of the person you could become and to reach the pearly gates, as it were, see who you could have been, contrast it with who you actually are, and be disappointed by the gap between them. And I love chasing that. I think it's a beautiful chase. But what I hope you guys will do, if you ever find yourself at the pearly gates disappointed in how much farther you could have gone, to simply ask one question of yourself every day. Did I give it my all today? Guys, the struggle is guaranteed. The struggle is guaranteed. The struggle is guaranteed. The success is not.
Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. What that means is when that wrong talk goes off, your feelings got to go away. It's raining outside, it's cold outside, but you don't want to put those long hours in at work. That's what I'm talking about. Your feelings must go away. When everybody leaves to go home, and there's only one light on in a building, a 15-story building, and only one office, that's the motherfucker right there you got to be. That is true. But you got to learn to shut your feelings off if you want to achieve greatness.
people that are hungry believe, always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. People that are hungry know if you want to be successful, you must be willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do today. Everything tomorrow, I'll get to it tomorrow. Or I'll get to it the next day. Who told you you had to tomorrow? Who told you that? Like, come on, like now, no opportunity wasted. Now, no opportunity wasted. Now, no opportunity wasted. How arrogant are you to think that if you don't do it right now, do it when you have the opportunity, that you're gonna have the same opportunity a week from now? How arrogant. How arrogant of you to think that if you don't get it done today, that same opportunity is gonna present itself 6 weeks later. How arrogant of you. The number one thing that's gonna change your life, the only thing that will change your life, change your business, change your money, change your relationship, is you must raise your standard. The only thing that changes our life long term is when we raise our standards. It means that all of us in life have things we want. We don't get what we want, we get what we have to have. We all get what we tolerate in ourselves and other people. But when you're no longer willing to tolerate something, that's when your life changes.
Be grateful for where you began. Your humble beginnings of being broke, of being hungry, of feeling alone. Be thankful for it. Because this is the skeleton that you will build your life upon. Your sacrifice is necessary. It's the most important ingredient in becoming something more than what you were. You have to struggle. Otherwise, the journey would not be rewarding, and if it came quickly, you wouldn't appreciate it. Enjoy the struggle. It's because this is the basement for you. And now you have to decide, am I ready to elevate my life out of this situation? You wouldn't know it unless you were at the bottom.
I say chase your dreams, man. Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night. That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You can't quit thinking about it. You always, that thing, man, that you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea. That's what you got to chase. Because anything else, it's going to disappoint you. You're going to forever be sad, man. If you don't chase that dream, you're going to forever be miserable, man. I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do. That's a sad thing, man. There are times in your life when things are going to happen that you've got to begin to put your dream on hold. And you might have to reinvent yourself. It's called life. And don't tell everybody about it. 80% don't care. 20% glad it's you. You have to suck it up and handle it. Being a risk taker, walking by faith and not by sight. Stuff happens to you.
It's something that you have to harness. Something that you want to be. You have to be that person that has developed a game changer mindset. A person that wants to be the uncommon amongst the uncommon. Game changer is a motherfucker that says, I've been training my entire life to take the big shot. I'm talking about a person that knows their value and knows that when they come to the table, it's the best in the world. A game changer has built that belief through hard work. They know who they are. And they bring the difference to the table.
If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if
you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
The warpath is also a war against weakness, and so it leads to strength. It is a war against ignorance, and so it leads to knowledge. It is a war against confusion, and so it delivers understanding. And the warpath leads to control and to ownership of your life. That is the warpath. The path of fire and adversity, the path of blood and sweat and suffering. The warpath is the interminable path of discipline, which is why it leads to freedom. In the end, the warpath leads to peace.
You can either live your dreams or live your fears. What are the things that you fear that's been keeping you from living your dream, that's been keeping you from doing some things that you would like to do? You can either go back to your comfort zone, there you won't find any growth, or you must be willing to go forward and face your fears again and again. Acknowledge your fears, you embrace those fears, and then you move on.
Giving with expectation is a devastatingly bad idea that 99% of people do.
Tiny adjustments that have the most profound effect on people. And it's never too late to say, I'm enough, I can find love. And now if you give someone the power to make you feel good, you give them the power to make you feel bad. And if you do it to yourself, you feel so much better. It makes you slightly bulletproof. You still need other people, we all need other people. But the dialoguing with yourself and starting with I'm enough.
See, strength paying bills that. I know it might be hard for you to feel that. But even in your darkest storms, there's a plan for you to shine bright. Please believe them. I know because God did it for me. God will allow you to go through places you don't understand, just to bring you to the place where you need to. So don't let this season take your life. You can win this fight. If it wasn't for my darkest storms, I would have never found the strength to shine my light. There's a purpose greater than your pain. There's no growth without rain. Sometimes it takes your hardest storms to birth your greatest change. Your life is not finished. You keep living.
If you're creating a wonderful future and you feel the emotions of that future and you feel like you're connected to the energy of your future, the moment you get angry and frustrated, you just disconnected from the energy of your future. And now you're back to the energy of your past and don't expect anything to change.
It doesn't matter what happened in your past. You're just a choice away from a new beginning. Your perspective can either be your power or your prison. So no matter what, appreciate your life and build your testimony with the test you were given. Listen, I get it. I know depression is real, but so is deliverance. You can heal from those afflictions, overcome those addictions. It's time to put a semicolon where you're trying to put a period because your sense hasn't ended. You got more life to live, so don't give up. And forget anybody or anything that's ever tried to make you feel like you're not enough. You're enough. You're more than enough. So don't try to eat your story just because this chapter sucks.
And if you understand the mind, it does what you tell it. That's its job. If you tell it better stuff, you have an amazing life. You can tell it mediocre stuff, you have a mediocre life. Then you have to talk to the mind and say, this is completely outdated. It's behind you. So people have a story, I can't be a success because I never went to university. I can't speak in public because I blush. Without understanding, when you describe why you can't, you keep it going. If you keep talking about the symptom, your mind keeps it alive because
Whatever you focus on, you get more. It's then, this is now. So they have outdated stories, outdated language. Being insecure is a mindset that was put into you for a million different reasons. Figuring out how to get out of that hole, like who you surround with, how you think, what you do. Insecurity is the biggest poison in our lives.
We as humans, if we don't have purpose and if we're not serving, we begin to dig holes in our life and cause problems that weren't there and have anxiety and depression that shouldn't be there, right? And if you can make money, if you focus on making money and then having some significance and meaning with that money, you now develop service and purpose. And it turns out that's kind of coded into our DNA. What I tell people is that it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay there. And so I have processes, things in place where my mindset has changed, where I can go through things where in the past, I would be victims of those things. Now I look at it as like, how can this help me? How can this help other people? And I know to stay there.
When people come in and go, I want this, you have to look at the blocks. The number one block is the fear of rejection. If I make cat, I can't reject. If I find love, they might leave. If I make all that money, people won't like me. So you've got to smash out the ballpark, the fear of rejection.
If a person's living by guilt and they don't know it's guilt because it just feels like they've been feeling that way every single day or suffering, and those emotions are driving their thoughts. And if they can't think greater than how they feel, and feelings and emotions are a record of the past or thinking the past, now past is going to be your future. Reality. I tell people you gotta face it. That doesn't mean that you have to stay stuck there, but a lot of times we run from reality, right? We try to smoke screen it, we try to hide from it, and we know reality will find you regardless. You can sweep it under the rug, but it'll still be there. So one of the quotes I like to use is, you'll never win your war by winning your battles. And so it's time to face your battles. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be tough, you will be judged, but acceptance to me is one of the most powerful things you can do. You can accept, okay, this is where I'm at with my life, and also accept that I don't have to stay there. And as humans, aren't we top of the food chain? I think we are. As humans, we're top of the food chain, yet I was living well below my potential in so many categories, in love, in impact, in money, in self-growth, self-discipline, health. And so I'm saying, man, it's time to human up. So to me, human up is something that's not gender specific. It's just as human, not making excuses, take control of your situation and rise to your potential.
I have definitely suffocated excuses better than a lot of people, which is really the biggest reason so many people are listening right now are not winning. They are surrounded by people that are willing to accept their excuses on one. Your friends and your family are letting you get away with your excuses because they don't care. I weirdly don't know you and I care, but let me tell you how to fix this. Excuses I hate about it.
Most people live by the same feelings every single day. You wake up in the morning and your brain is a record of the past. So you wake up and you start thinking about your problems, and your problems are connected to certain people and things at certain times and places. Molded in the circuits of memories related to the past experience and the environment. And your thoughts are the vocabulary of your brain, your feelings are the vocabulary of your body. How do you think and feel creates your state of being. So most people start their day every single day reaffirming their entire state of being from the past. Then they rush to the predictable, right?
You have to look at your life and say, you know what, if you want to be here, you're doing things that don't get you there. You have to make those changes. Now, those things get you to where you want to go, cool. But for me, in my life, those things weren't transitioning me to my greatest needs, so I had to let it go. Stop playing the victim. Stop running around acting as if you have nothing to do with the people, things, and situations in your life. Digging up the negative seeds in your life, replace those seeds with seeds of positivity. So that means going back. God in your life for a reason, others are there for a season. It's very important that you recognize when people's seasons are over.